Good evening.
It's a nice drawing, isn't it? We're going to talk about design now. Now, the process of design is very much the same since the days of Snow White. It's still figured out using paper and pencils and pens and paints before we do anything on the computer. And for our movie, we've assembled a great team of very talented artists that have created a very unique look for Monsters Incorporated.
One of the most exciting things on this movie was that we did get to create this world from scratch. I mean, nobody knows what a world where monsters live in might look like. There have been a lot of different interpretations of it through time, but we had an opportunity to create a really unique, original vision of a monster world. And it was a lot of fun because in computer graphics, we have to create every last little detail, every prop, every building, down to the tiniest detail. So somebody has to think about all those details, and it was great fun to think them all up and to create a world that not only looked cool, but made sense.
That was one of the criteria, was to have some relatable connection to our world. And also, if it's going to be designed this way for the monsters, there has to be a real reason for it. We have to really kind of think it out as opposed to, this looks neat.
We kind of wound up thinking of Monstropolis as kind of almost a parallel universe with the human world. That at first glance, it looks like a regular city. It's not so bizarre that you can't figure out what it is, but we really wanted to relate that they live in a happy place, a bustling, exciting place. They're all going to work, and that the whole world is designed for monsters.
So they've done this hilarious thing of showing, you know, doors that have multiple doors or multiple handles on everything. But it's also one of those things, it's just part of the world.
Sully's chair in our movie has a big hole in the back of it. Why does it have a hole in the back of it? For his tail to go through.
And they have a lot of different physical requirements. The buildings were super reinforced with cast iron and steel and brick. The other was in the Monsters, Inc., the factory, we really wanted it to look like it was a working factory. We tried to communicate in the factory design itself that there were areas for the executives and for the union workers and for the people that clean up. So each character had its sort of home base.
And I think that's what makes it so special, this world, because it's believable. Everything that we do as far as the story, the characters, and the world, it's believable to the audience.
So it's all those little details that we thought up that really make this world a really rich, exciting one to look at again and again.
So for Monsters, Inc., we created a new department called set dressing.
And it's in set dressing that we take our empty sets and we fill them with furniture and props and all the little things that make a world look lived in.
So now we'd like to introduce you to the person responsible for heading up that department, Sophie Wieselet.
So I'll take you into the computer to show you how the set dressing artists take the model that are given to us by the modeling department, the architectures, the props, to put this all together into believable environments for our characters to act in.
This office is now closed.
So here I have an example of the sushi restaurant, and this is our working environment. This is the software we use to create these sets. And we have a camera view here. That's the shot that the layout department has created. This is the shot that will be seen in the movie. But I also have this other camera here that I can use to view the sets in different angle if that's easier for me to view the set from, for example, this angle. If I need to position a detail here, a piece of sushi on the plate, I can easily use that secondary camera to get in closer to have a better view. So I can take this sushi, and for example, if I wanted to put the sushi on its side, I could very well do that. So here's the sushi on the plate. I'd probably have to do a little bit more tweaking to get it not to intersect with the plate. That's an example. Here, perhaps, we want to move the cup a little bit more screen right. So I'm going to position this secondary camera here, the top, as a top-down view, and I'm going to move his cup a little bit more screen right. And so you can imagine that this is the software we use to create these sets. All these individual props, all the architectures are put together with these tools and to create the environments for our characters.
Oh my God. I've had a lot of birthdays, well, not a lot of birthdays, but this is the best birthday ever.
So now I want to show you a very specific model we worked with on this movie. It's called Pipomatic. And Pipomatic is a tool consisting of a variety of components like straight pieces, connecting pieces, and curved pieces. And that tool was built by a modeling TD to allow us to put all these pieces together to form a set of pipes. One thing that the set dressing department is also responsible for is the shader variants, different appearances. And in the set dressing department, the artists are responsible to integrate these variants into this set. Different types of metal that we could apply to the different pipes, depending on what set they were shown in. And this was all made from the single components that we saw earlier. Now let me show you some examples from the movie of pipes that were used as maybe a different way that was intended. The console in the secret lair where Randall and Fungus work is also made out of individual pieces of models we found in different sets, but mainly Pipomatic. Every individual model that we get from the modeling department is integrated into these sets to create these environments.
Say hello to the Scream Extractor.
Hello. Come on, where you going? We'll talk. Come on, we'll have a latte.
rolling.